Grace, love, and peace to you from the sanctuary of Charlotte Congregational Church. On Sunday, March 15th, we suspended in-person meetings and services in our buildings due to numerous health risks associated with COVID-19. Since that first Sunday, we have been ministering and doing the work that we've been called to do, but we've also been wondering, when will we return to our beloved sanctuary and vestry? When will we be able to worship face to face again? As our state slowly begins to reopen, and after recent comments by President Trump calling for houses of worship to reopen for services quickly, something we certainly all want, we wanted you to hear from the leadership of our church about what we're thinking and doing to prepare for our in-person services and meetings. We also want you to hear why we believe that won't be safe to do until at least September. Here's Rick Kerschner to tell you more.
Hi, I'm Rick Kerschner, church president. Our church, like many other churches, is experiencing an unprecedented suspension of in-person worship services. All of us want to return to our beautiful sanctuary, but the hard news is it's likely to be months from now. Here are some reasons why. Vermont state guidelines still direct us to gather in groups of 10 or fewer. Even as the spigot begins to open, we'll likely be directed to wear masks and be spaced far apart, limiting the number of worshipers who will be allowed in our sanctuary at any one time. Congregational hymn singing is a particularly effective way of spreading the virus and will not be advisable for some time. Those who are particularly vulnerable will likely choose to stay away until a vaccine is available. With our current streaming worship services, all who want to attend can do that. In fact, our weekly online gathering attracts more worshipers than our services in the sanctuary, and we do not want to lose anyone. If we move into our sanctuary before the high quality and high speed internet and video streaming capabilities are available, many will lose any opportunity to worship with their church family. You may remember that one of the improvements recommended by the Renew and Rejoice effort was to improve our digital worship capabilities in both the sanctuary and the vestry. This pandemic has made this a top priority, and a task force is presently soliciting bids from experts to help us design and install the proper equipment. Adding these improvements and training members to operate the equipment will take several months. And there are other considerations, such as establishing a worship sign-up procedure to prevent overcrowding, cleaning protocols, and the state's required VOSHA training for church staff. Simply put, returning to worship in our sanctuary will require time and significant effort to ensure it's done well, legally, and safely. Rest assured, your church ministries, cabinet, staff, and pastors are working hard to prepare for our eventual return. In the short term, I'm pleased to report that the cabinet is planning to open the sanctuary to individuals and families for scheduled periods of prayer and meditation as soon as reasonable. Until then, we will continue to worship, feed, clothe, pray, learn, provide pastoral care, and proclaim our hope in Christ as we have done for so many years. We greatly value and solicit your opinions and ideas as we move through these uncharted waters. Please provide feedback to the cabinet through the deacons or other appropriate ministry members, or reach out directly to me or your pastors anytime with questions and suggestions. Thank you for your patience and understanding.
Hello, my name is Jim Hyde. I'm a member of the congregation, chair of the missions ministry, a retired professor of public health and community medicine at the Tufts University School of Medicine, and the former director of preventive medicine in the Massachusetts State Health Department. Now, Kevin, Susan, and our deacons have done an amazing job of responding to the unprecedented threat that COVID-19 virus poses for so many in our congregation. Nothing has prepared us for this, and all of us have had to learn on the job. But the amazing thing is that we've weathered this first phase with our spiritual needs being addressed, our programs and missions activities continuing, and our congregants as enthusiastic and energetic as ever. But the next reopening phase will be much more challenging. No one really knows how long it'll be until we can safely return to in-person worship services and meetings, but the best guess is that it'll be a long time, likely months before our lives and practices return to anything like what they were before this all started. It may even be that some of the new distancing and hygiene behaviors that we've learned in the last couple of months will be with us permanently. However, as we start to think about reopening, the leadership of our church has been researching, listening to guidelines from health and governmental authorities, listening to the leadership of our denomination as well as the leadership of other faith traditions. And they've begun drafting plans which meet the criteria and recommendations of all of these groups. Our cabinet, staff, and pastors operate under the belief that houses of worship like ours should be among the last to reopen their buildings. And so they will constantly monitor the changing landscape and plan accordingly. But ultimately, it's about you. There's no one-size-fits-all answer. If you don't feel comfortable with the procedures put in place, either from a health or from a spiritual perspective, then please let our leadership know, or make use of alternatives like the online worship options that we've provided. We all look forward to the day when we can meet, pray, sing, and worship God in ways that we've come to miss so very much. Thank you.
The Bible, the book that is the foundational witness of our faith, does not speak of cocktail parties by the swimming pool. It is predominantly a testimony to perseverance, faith, and courage in times of great adversity and challenge. We know the hardship that the Jews and the early Christians encountered, and we routinely seek to emulate their endurance and their trust in God. As we ourselves experience a time of hardship and trial, let's live into the lessons that we have learned and go forth with patience and with grace to love our neighbors as ourselves and trust the Christ who binds us all together. So do not pray for easy lives. Pray to be stronger women and men. Do not pray for tasks equal to your powers, but for power equal to your tasks. Then your grace in adversity will be no miracle. You will be the miracle. Then you will wonder at yourself and the richness of life that has come to you by the grace of God.